Hey, everybody, Jim Cummings here, and if Tigger were here, he'd say, thanks, everybody, for bouncing on in here and enjoying the show. But before we go, I want you to do me a small favor. Hit like, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying the show. Now, speaking of enjoying the show, enjoy the show.
Jimmy Neutron wanted to ask Pooh a couple things.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, did he now? Okay.
So, excuse me, Pooh Bear, are you there?
Oh, yes.
Hi, it's Jimmy Neutron. I'm sure you don't know me, but I was trying to synthesize a synthetic honey, and I wanted to know what your favorite characteristics of it were so that I could work on it in my lab.
I don't know what sympathetic honey is, but it sounds very tasty.
Well, what's your favorite part about the taste of honey, Pooh?
The part where I taste the honey.
Okay. And do you find it's a problem having it be so sticky? Because I was thinking I could create a honey that wouldn't be sticky, that could just like slide off like oil.
Not sticky, but I like it when only the sticky part is left because, you see, that means I've had it all. So leave the sticky.
Well, all right, Pooh. I'm going to work on it anyway because I don't like to clean up the mess.
Well, I don't blame you, because tigers do not like honey, not like Pooh Bears. It's icky, sticky, gooey stuff. It's only fit for heffalumps and woozles, and the occasional neutroner.
You know, Tigger, I wondered if you would like to have a race with me and my hovercraft.
Tigers don't hover.
Do Tiggers run fast?
No, but they could bounce their little patootskis off.
The other side of the coin from all that kumbayaing I was just doing a second ago is that I'm also completely wired for failure. Because...
You too, huh?
Yeah. No, because, you know,
Oh,
obscurity and failure.
You're not good at failing, by the way. I can.
No.
You're terrible at it.
You have no idea. If you look at my IMDb, there's like over 200 entries, and only 3 or 4 of them were successful. But those 3 or 4 of them were what people remember. So, but they didn't see the other, 232 that really stunk out the joint. And it wasn't as if you went into any of those thinking you were going to stink out the joint. That's the way it went.
Yeah.
Because there's just so many ways. There's so many amazing things have to happen in order for something to be really, really good and perfect and break through and be regarded as a classic or as something.
A lot of moving parts.
Successful. And the longer you do this, the more you realize how rare that is. And so what I do now is I just expect everything to fail. I have, one of the great realizations I made in order to protect my thin skin is like, no expectations, no disappointments. And if you expect nothing, you're never going to be disappointed. Because if something good does happen, then it's a complete pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, no. I mean, I went into Sons of Anarchy thinking this is going to be one and done. We're lucky they got that far. This is too special. It's too weird. It's too unlike anything anybody's ever seen before. And Hollywood is not known for breakthrough, original content stuff.
Well, you hope for the best, you expect the worst, and you take what comes.
Exactly. And when you really, really do have no expectations, or you think this is never going to fly, when it doesn't, you're good.
The biggest regrets are the things that you didn't do. Wow, you know what? I really should have.
Oh, yeah.
The things you don't do, those are the big regrets.
Yeah.
For me, it's always seemed that way. But so you gotta. And I tell people if you really, because you do these conventions and kids will ask you, well, how did you know? How did you blah blah blah? And for me, it's like I say, you only regret the things you don't do, and if you have a dream of it. Now I found out later that this was some kind of a positive attitude thing that's like acceptable to Ram Dass and all these gurus and everybody. But if you just imagine yourself doing it already. Imagine what it would be like getting up and going to work and going to a studio and singing a song or doing a cartoon character and everything. And if you can see it, if you can imagine it, then you probably can pull it off.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you could probably pull it off. And I'm from Youngstown, Ohio. I used to work in a steel mill, you know, and then I moved to New Orleans. I worked on a riverboat, but I still knew, but I wasn't a steel mill worker. I was a guy who worked in a steel mill.
There you go.
You know, so
who are you going to be?
Yeah, and that there's nothing wrong with the guys in the steel mill.
Listen,
God bless them.
And there are a whole bunch of guys, and I have nothing against them. That's what they want to do.
Yeah.
You want to do that? You it's a steady paycheck. You make your money.
Union,
take care
hospitalization.
Of your family. You know, I mean, that's a wonderful thing because there's a bunch of guys who don't want to accept that kind of responsibility.
Yeah.
And who don't. You know, I mean, you know, they didn't call them deadbeats for nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But not everybody is a deadbeat, you know, who doesn't have the same ambition as you.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, what my first main amazing acting teacher, Mr. Graham, said, if there is anything you want to do more than being an actor, do that. Because it's, in reality, the highs are high, but there are many lows, and they can get very low. And the amount of time you spend looking for work does not always equal the amount of time you are working. So
that's some pretty down-to-earth practical.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to love what you're doing so that you can really throw yourself into it. And I think training is the way to go. At least for me, I have a bachelor's and a master's in an MFA in acting, and I think that training to use your instrument is very worthwhile. You can teach. You can kind of say yes to any job that comes your way, which you have to do because you don't know when the next one will come. So I think that's probably the words of wisdom. Get a good demo tape.
Yeah.
Tape, MP3, whatever we say now.
Yeah. Do we still have those?
Get a good demo.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta be.
Yeah. I've heard something similar, just building off of what you just said, where it's like the only true control you have as an actor is in your craft. You can't control getting cast. You can't control auditions. You can't control what the director directs you. The only true control you have as an actor is how much time you put into your craft.
Yeah.
How well you own your instrument.
That's right. How finely tuned it is. But that is true because and even then you're like, oh gosh, could I have done it better? Or give me one more take. Or, you know, you're always trying to be as good as you can be, be your best, really, as they say.
Yeah.
But yeah, you challenge yourself and then you hope that what you're doing will get you cast in something else. Yeah.
Knock on that.
Totally.
For Micah.
Yeah, or whatever. It's your furniture. You must know what it is.
Because we are in my living room.
Yes.
Who are you the voice of in Jungle Book 2? Shere Khan?
Well, no, I mean...
or not Shere Khan. Who's the snake?
Ka. Yeah.
Ka. Were you the voice of Ka?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then apparently... But I was King Louis, too, for not the very first one. Well, I'm
that was
the
Louis
king
Prima.
of the swingers. Whoa,
Yeah,
the
Jungle VIP. I had to stop and had to stop and that's what's bothering me.
Don't sing it that well.
Too bad. It's just natural. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to sing it bad. Do you know what I mean, Jim?
What are you gonna do? Yeah, it's a curse. But no, that was one of the coolest things. And a real quick aside, a very quick aside, Sam Butera was his sax player, and I hired him to play for a private event.
Oh, that's fun.
And I got up and sang a couple of songs with him as Louis Prima.
That's
because
fun.
I'm designated Louis for,
Yeah.
you know, Disney has designated
Yeah.
people for that. And
Isn't it amazing
it's
that they got away with using basically the same animation back in the day? Jungle Book and Robin Hood were so many of the same characters. Little John and Baloo were by the way, not just the same animation. It was the same guy. It was the same voice that did both Little John and Baloo.
Phony King of England.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can think.
Hey, Rob, hey, Rob, hey, Robin. Oh, man, I love those movies so much. But yeah, a lot of those same, a lot of those same sketches. They just reused them. I think it was in the 70s, wasn't it?
I think.
I'm pretty sure that's when it was like.
Which one? Robin Hood or?
I think both. Oh no, maybe Jungle Book was in the 60s.
Jungle Book was 60s.
Yeah. But in the set, listen, I know that Disney went through some like really paltry years where like people were not, like the Dark Crystal or the Black Cauldron years.
Black Cauldron, that's right.
Like they were grasping at straws trying to, and I think a lot of people were just not really watching a lot of animation at that point anyway or whatever.
I agree.
So then of course they're
it was
recycling.
crap.
What's that?
It was crap.
A lot of it. Yeah.
So, but yeah, sorry. Oh, wait, did Jim say that? No, I didn't say it.
No, Jim didn't say that.
I didn't say that. Now, see, look at that. See, it's got to be great for you to carry on the legacy of the great Mel Blanc. I mean, I have this much of it, but you've got, and then we haven't even gone to Bedrock yet. So, should we run down? Can you give us a medley of your greatest guys? Prepare. I hope, strap in. This is good stuff.
Well, it's true, Doc. I'm a rabbit, all right. Oh, I think I should have taken that left turn, Doc, at Albuquerque. Well, always a bridesmaid, never a bride, Daffy Duck.
Sylvester, Fluffer, and Succotash, I'm not gonna hurt you, you little yellow bird. I'm just gonna eat you.
Ooh, I thought I saw a putty tat. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day.
Hey, I'm Yogi Bear.
Oh, Yogi, if I were you, I wouldn't touch that picnic basket.
Yogi, you're gonna get in a lot of trouble. Fred Flintstone and Bunny Rubble.
I'm exhausted.
What I love about the fact that you guys, and all of us are lucky enough to be working, but you guys get to do sort of more high-profile Disney legend stuff, movies and all that. And because of Winnie the Pooh, I remember about 3 or 4 years ago when Christopher Robin was coming out, and I remember seeing the trailer and being with Jimmy and said, Jimmy, that movie, you lit that movie up.
Oh,
2 months later, the cover of Vanity Fair magazine had Ewan McGregor on it, and the headline was, "There is an Oscar-winning performance in Christopher Robinson, right?
Robin, yeah.
Robin, and it's not Ewan McGregor. It was Jimmy."
Yeah.
And that's
That
what
was very nice
Doesn't
of them.
surprise me at all.
Not a bit. That's
That
my
was so
point.
nice.
Acting is acting, folks.
Yeah.
These two guys light it up every time they do it. And those two
Listen to
particular
him.
performances with Goofy
Here's
Movie.
your 20. Okay.
No,
Yeah, I was going to say, there's that 50.
what a pleasure.
Did you drop
'cause
this 50?
I've gotten to know these guys for the last 35, 40
Yeah,
years.
sure.
Oh,
And so
Yeah.
it's absolutely as it should be. You guys are
it was
movie stars.
There's never a Comic-Con that I go to that is a lot of people don't bring that up.
Yeah.
It's the number one thing anyone talks about
Yeah,
at
great.
my table, and it's like now it's been so long. This is I used to take Max's side of the whole thing,
Yeah,
and now
and
I
now
take
I'm a
Goofy's
Goofy
side.
guy,
because I got 3 kids of my own. I understand what he's talking about.
Yeah. It's not so funny anymore. It's
And
like,
I always
Yeah.
had my dad was
Yeah.
just a big turd in the punch bowl.
yeah. PJ!
Oh my God, there's not enough weed in the world for my old man.
There's no booklet on how to be a dad. You know?
Oh my God. Oh man.
Pull my fingers out.
All right, Dad. Oh my God, my dad farted. Never saw that coming.
Yeah.
And I have to ask you too. I saw that for some years you worked for Playboy. In what
That's true.
In what capacity was that? Was that
Well, they had the same film critic for, I think, 30 years, almost since the magazine started. And the gentleman who did that was having some health issues and was going to retire. And the magazine was always headquartered in Chicago. That's where Hefner was from. Hugh Hefner was from.
Yeah.
And they asked Roger Ebert's opinion, and he recommended me, which was a very generous thing to do. and they saw some of my writing, and Hef liked it, and I signed on, and I was there how 6 years, 6 or 7 years.
Clarify that you weren't reviewing porn.
No. I was reviewing mainstream movies.
Oh, well, all right then.
And
tell it anyway.
No.
I'm assuming it was like articles in the magazine.
Yeah. No admittance to the grotto.
Yeah.
Came along with the.
Did you meet Hefner though?
Oh well, subsequent to that, my wife and I became friendly with Hef, and we went to screenings there on old movie night. He used to show new movies on Sundays.
I'm sure you saw Chuck McCann there a lot.
Of course.
Good old Chuck, an old buddy of mine.
Yeah, well, I grew up with Chuck.
Yeah.
And then met him again as as an adult out here. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. He was on the very first show that I ever did. He was on it, and he was in Gummy Bears. He was in. It seemed like he was in and out of any show that I was on for like 20 some years, and he, we used to do Chuck McCann impressions. I was telling Conway when I told him, I said, when I invented comedy, never mind.
Chuck was great.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, what was funny was when we started going to the Playboy Mansion for these screenings, it was not a bacchanal. It was a regular Friday night ritual. And the regulars who were there were Chuck and his wife, Betty, and Robert Culp, and Mel Torme, and Ray Anthony. And, sometimes there would be a playmate around, but mostly not. And it was a bunch of middle-aged people enjoying old movies together.
Wow. Yeah. Sounds like fun.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
It really does.
And he was the most gracious host. Just very kind and very generous.
Yeah. In his smoking jacket.
Yes, exactly. We went to one Halloween party there, and that was something of a bacchanal. There was a young woman painted silver head to toe.
Yeah.
She was absolute vodka, a little sign to identify her. And we found Hef to say hello. And Alice said, my wife said, what do you hear as tonight? And he fumbled in his smoking jacket and found his pipe. You're Hef.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty good gig.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing to be able to say you did.
Yeah.
Can't imagine living like that, but you know what? More power to him. What the hell?
He made his own rules.
Yeah, he sure did. Yeah, kind of like you, right?
All walks of life come up in our. I mean, it's all very alternative. It's
yes, it is.
My line looks like you can't tell if they're lining up for me or the grand opening of a Hot Topic. And it's very
Hot Topic.
It's a very alternative crowd, which I like because before I did YouTube, I fit right in with that crowd. I still do. Like I definitely. It's nice to feel like the people I make stuff for are me. I'm not. It's not that I'm making stuff for like some other. I would never watch my. No, it's like I make what I like, and I think that people have very similar sensibilities, and so it's nice to see, like you said, in person when they're there. It's so gratifying, and I have a hard time moving my line along because I very much connect with a lot of the people, and it's hard to. Okay, thank you. It's really you do want to take your time with a lot of these people that understand you. The reason why I feel like I connect with the fans is because the writing is, I am very picky with the writing in my stuff, and I think that when people relate to that, they're relating to a very genuine part of my soul. The conflicts that the characters go through and the different morals what the lessons learned from each film I do or series I make. That's all from here, and it's stuff that's close to my life. And so when people relate to that and they
it's very genuine.
It's genuine, and I feel like they get a large part of who I am. and even more so than a lot of my own family. You know, a lot of my family loves my work, but you know, I'm the only entertainer in my family. No one else works in entertainment, and so you say, yeah, I was just saying that sounds familiar.
Yeah, we're good with truck drivers. Had a few steel mill people in there, and I was one of them.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's my family, and I'm assuming probably sounds like yours too. We're very passionate about practicality. They're very practical people, and you know, we just, I mean, we would go to the movies occasionally. We would watch TV, like basic cable, but we were never we never nerded out a lot over stuff, and I really, you know, getting older, I started to really appreciate the whole nerd aspect of, because really what nerd means is just someone who loves something so passionately they need to label it as nerd. You know, it's like you're just so in love with something, and I'm really drawn to people who are so in love with something.
So am I. I understand that completely.
And so so being in, now I'm full-fledged in con culture. I'm like neck deep in nerds, and and it's just there's a part of me that's like, damn, it took me 35 years to get here. Like I finally feel like I'm at home, and it took me 35 years to feel like I'm home.
But I remember being quite naive. It's quite a funny story, because I had never fired a gun or a machine gun in my life.
No.
And I got on set one day, and I was supposed to come around the corner. We were in a bit of trouble, and all the bad guys were over there. And the guy said, "Which gun would you like to use, Tim?" I said, "Oh, would you like the Uzi or the AK something?" And I said, "Oh." For some reason, I'd read all these comics as a kid, those Commando comics. And so they had Uzis in them.
That's
so
right.
Immediately I chose
Plus
the
they
Uzi.
look cool.
Yeah, they look cool. They just got a very light.
Yeah.
I got a fright at first when on the couple of first takes. I sort of go,
Oh yeah. Did it have a kick?
And then it had a lot of kick.
Wow.
And then I remember doing it a couple of times, and then I heard cut. Tim, the director would like to see you by the monitor.
Yeah.
So I run over, and he goes, you're just doing something weird with your lips. I go, well, replay it for Tim. Give him a look. And I suddenly realized I was going like this. I was making the sound effects.
Oh my God, that's funny.
So that's how naive I was. So I remember the director going, "Look, Tim, don't worry about the sound effects."
And you accidentally shot Pamela Anderson.
Lucky I didn't. But she saved me, actually, yeah.
Do you have a smackerel of honey about you?
We don't tend to keep honey on the ship, Mr. Pooh, but if you behave yourself, I might let you have a mackerel later.
A smackerel?
You'll get a smackerel if you're rude to me again, Mr. Pooh. Now get back to scrubbing that deck.
Aye, aye, sir.
Good. He's a good lad, really. He's a good lad, Winnie.
We could really take that down into a terrible, terrible place.
We really could, yeah. I was about to go there, but
I know.
Well,
terrible.
I'll see you later in me cabin.
Yeah. All right. Good night, everybody.
All right, that's it.
That was my big meeting that I didn't have with Mel Blanc.
That is so special to know that.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Did you do impersonations on that?
Yeah.
You did some?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it was like Elliot Ness, Robert Stack on The Untouchables, and Desi Arnaz, Lucy and Desi. So
See, because I met him
Lucy
in
and
college.
Ricky.
He was doing a performance lecture in college, and I found out he was staying at a motel on campus. And
Oh,
so
boy.
I knocked on his door at 10 o'clock at night.
Cool.
And I went, just a jiffy. And I went, God, that voice. I know that voice.
Yeah.
God. And then he opens the door, and he's in a cordovan bathrobe. And I said, Mr. Blank, I'm not going to hurt you.
It wasn't Hugh Hefner.
That was not Hugh Hefner, no.
Oh, okay.
But he had gold chains and bracelets.
Yeah.
And I said, I saw your lecture at Pitt. I said, you're amazing. Can I just have 3 minutes with you? And he said, are you Jewish or Italian? And I like, well, what's going to get me in? I said, Jewish. He said, all right, come on in. So we sat down for maybe 45 minutes and talked. And I did voices for him because he asked me, not because I was being pushy.
Yeah, right.
And so I did like George Burns, and I did Jack Benny, and I did. And he says, those are great, but do your own voices, create your own voice. Of course, I didn't listen to it.
Yeah. Well, his will do for now, I would think, right?
Yeah.
God rest his soul.
But when you meet somebody like that, I mean, he's the godfather of voiceover animation.
Sure.
I don't even I couldn't process it at the time. And it was only maybe a few months after that I started to work on the voices. Very different than Bob Bergen, who just, he was so laser focused, wanted to do Porky.
Yes.
You know that story.
Oh, yeah.
And I never thought about doing animated voices. It never occurred to me.
Wow, you've changed that. Thank
I mean,
goodness.
that was the watershed moment. That changed the whole trajectory of everything for me.
Sure.
It was as though I was possessed to do those characters. And I couldn't stop myself.
Well, we're all glad you did.
Yes. It's like I had no choice.
Yeah.
I didn't know why I was doing it.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's a good way to put it. I had no choice. Because I don't think I did either. I mean,
right?
I tried a lot of other things, and I was not good at a lot of other things. And so I said, well, I can do that. And again, I go back to my dad. He goes, yeah, I know, but what are you going to do for a living? Yeah, okay, yeah, I get it. Fine. Now, and you're going to make a living how? And I said, no, I'm really going to do that. And he goes, Jesus Christ. Okay,
See, I thought you were a drummer.
I am.
You okay? Because you would come to the sessions.
I've
with
got them right over
drumsticks.
here, or wherever. No, I think Peggy has them now. But I am. I do. I annoy people at sessions.
Well, I used to
right
get a
center.
kick out of it when I would see you with it because I started out on the drums as a kid.
Oh, yeah?
And I loved my teacher so much that when he would come to give me lessons, I would say, "You play." Let me see.
Yeah.
And my father would say, "What can you do? Can you do anything?" And I would say, "I'm working on it.
I can watch this guy."
I never got good at it.
Yeah. Well, I love drums. I've always had a set of drums up, and if not, I'll have some congas and bongos and something that makes noise.
But see, that's so rhythmic, and that's all part of, right?
I think you're right about that.
Yeah.
And I think the best impressionists are people who do impressions of people, pick up on the rhythm of and the musicality.
Totally. Yeah.
There's no question about it. I've always thought of it as sort of a jazzy thing. Whenever you're doing an impression of somebody.
Yeah. Oh, completely. I never got good at the drums, but scatting for some reason.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
There was something wait, was I like somebody else in another lifetime? Because I'm so attracted to that sound.
Yeah. Well, I've often thought of it that, like, for instance, take just a bag. Wait a minute, you kids can't get me in here. Get out of here. That's ba-da-da-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-da-da.
Yeah.
And if you have that in your head, I think it's a little edge. I
think so too.
But when we very, very first started doing the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Entertainment Tonight, they came out to, it was TV Guide Entertainment Tonight, they came to the studio going, oh, well, it's been 20 years since anybody saw the silly old bear and blah, blah. Now it's being done by this guy named Jim Cummings and blah, blah, blah. And they go, let's sneak into the studio and see, one of those. And I was standing there and I was doing Pooh, and I was standing and I was standing at the mic, and my shoulders were slumped, and I was leaning back a little bit, and my stomach was jutting out. And I went, oh, God, I'm doing Pooh. And then I started talking, and it was Pooh. And then when they said, oh, wait, let's see if Tigger's going to be here today, because they're so funny and cute, great writing. And I'm standing there, and I'm standing there like this, like, I'm getting ready to bounce on somebody. And I'm looking around, and I said, damn, you don't realize you're doing it, but you get into character in a physical sense to do a voice. So, okay.
Yeah, you do. Which I didn't know, and I had the privilege of watching Dan Castellaneta and Harry Shearer, right, when I was young, and their whole bodies are into it, almost to like an embarrassing degree. I was like, guys, you're kind of going nuts. There's only a microphone there, and it took me like a while to work up the courage to do that too, because it's so. I guess improvisation classes help with that kind of thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I was so young, I didn't, I wasn't that far along. And so I really learned by watching them and how their whole bodies create the voice,
Oh, yeah. Well, it's all part of the character, right?
Yeah. And
you know.
it's been fun to see. I'm sure you've seen this too, right? Great actors will come in who are not used to doing voiceover, and they don't, and they think it's just a neck up thing, because that's what it would seem to be. You just have a mic there, no one's watching you. But then you see they catch on within a few minutes that they have to just fully commit, as if it were a full performance, and then they get the hang of it.
Yeah, I not to name drop here, but I did a couple shows with Rita Moreno 100 years ago, and she came in, and I thought, how can you just have Rita Moreno come in for like 8 lines? But I guess her daughter was a big fan of animation, so it was kind of like, and she brought her. And so I guess it was kind of like her little gift to her daughter. And she was sitting there, and she was sitting next to me, and I'm sitting there going, I'm sitting next to Rita Moreno. And she said, halfway through it, she goes, okay, I just have to say something. This is the most fun I've ever had. I can't believe you're paying me. Not much, but I'm getting paid, and I said, I can't believe I'm getting paid to sit next to you either. She goes, this is the most freeing thing I've ever done. You can't make a mistake. You can't look wrong. You can't be standing wrong. You can't be doing that. You can't be making the wrong face. And if you screw up, they'll just rewind the tape and go over it again. Is that how it works? And I go, yeah, pretty sort of, yeah. And she goes, oh, well, the hell. I'll do this till the cows come home. This is great. And her daughter's sitting there going, having a great time. But it was very cute. This incredible actress. She's got an Oscar, an Emmy, a Tony, a Grammy, and she's sitting there going, basically doing arm farts with Bonkers Steve Bobcat on a Disney cartoon. So I was like, this is great. I'm never leaving this business.
Yeah.
It works for me.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Can you pinpoint the moment you became confident with your voice work, Hank?
About 20 minutes ago, I think. It was when I discovered that. It's part of what I teach in acting is I was like really self-critical. I mean, all actors are insecure to some extent, and it's hard for us to look at our own performances sometimes or hear our own performances sometimes. But I had that very bad, I think more than most. And for example, like at the premiere of The Birdcage, Jim, and I was told, oh, you're wonderful in this. It's great. You're gonna. I walked out of that theater like I ruined the movie. I ruined the movie.
Oh my
They all
gosh.
are up there doing such wonderful work. I was so, not to get too deep, but I think I had such innate low self-esteem and belief that if I were doing it, it couldn't be any good. That even what presented with evidence that I had done a nice job.
Yeah, I think all evidence to the contrary. I think you're doing fine.
All I saw was the mistakes. All I saw was what I was trying to do that maybe I didn't quite achieve. All the crazy actor things that will drive us crazy. So after a while, after many years of suffering that way, I realized kind of that what we just said is tape is cheap, and I don't need to be perfect. I just need to offer some usable stuff on each take and enjoy it as much as possible, and offer choices.
Whatever you're bringing is always in service of the story, and hopefully your antenna are educated enough that you can bring something that's appropriate. That's always. I mean, improv is all about making the others look good, not you. That's the key. If you're not there trying to be a show off or trying to get attention for you, you want to make them look good. You want to make the story look good. And then if you fall off the stage or fall on your face, that's actually a bonus. Then it gets a laugh because that's a genuine. It's a genuine face plant, but you're helping the story and you're helping the others. That's the attitude, I think. You start out as an actor, a lot of actors, where you want yourself to look good. You want to do a good job. You want to be praised. You want your applause. You want to stand out. You want all these things. Me. But when you're a session player, when you're an improviser, really when you're a voice actor, you have to angle your whole attitude to make everything else look good. That's your job.
That's great advice. That's words to live by there, I would think.
I'm going to look like an idiot doing what I do. Yeah, it's ugly. It's grotesque. It's humiliating. It looks awful. And that doesn't matter because I'm doing my job of making something that they want that's useful. And if it's a, it's like.
Well, I kind of like the one where you grab your, where you grab your nose there and pinch it, and I don't even know what you're doing there, but it's
modifying the column of air by closing off my nose. You can. It just.
Yeah, sure.
It's playing the orchestra.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Everybody sing along.
Everybody.
Hey, join in, won't you? Kids, try this at home.
Do
try it at home.
Try it. That's the problem start when you stop trying.
That's right.
You gotta keep doing that weird stuff.
Yeah.
Follow your weirdness.
Yeah, do it at school.
Follow your weirdness.
Do it in history class. Do it in church. I've met some autistic people, and in our profession, I think a lot of autistic folks are drawn to it because they can analyze it, they can get into it. It's a beautiful thing, and some of them are. I'm this far away from saying it's slightly a superpower.
Yeah.
You may have lost something there, but you've gained something.
It is very different, and there's something wrong with them. They're just their brain is wired differently.
Set up differently.
It's differently. Now some of them do. They've got the ones that can't speak, and then it becomes really.
Sure.
But these are we can't say which one is he, or is he 5 or is he 7? So that's why I think they say it's just on the spectrum.
Last week on the show, we had Billy West, voice actor Billy West, who's autistic.
Yes.
And he's very open with it. Yeah.
And Billy West and I, we were sitting across from each other going to the last con, and he brought up, he goes, well, I'm autistic. And I said, so is my son. Oh my, and he is... Billy, I mean, I've never talked to him as much and got to know him. I adore him.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
I mean, he is just so interesting to watch and talk. Brilliant. And what a lovely person. So that's all it is. Don't be afraid of them.
Yeah, and he's got an encyclopedic knowledge.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they are one of the smartest.
We're running out of time here. Should we do a little voice swap?
Sure.
Do you know of the voice swap game?
No, teach me.
All right.
Yes.
I will explain it to the best of my abilities. I don't know why this is so hard for me to explain. I don't know why. So, Jim, you'll each do a character that you voiced, one of their popular lines. So, say, Jim, Winnie the Pooh, oh bother, and then you'll do that same line in a character voice of your character.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then vice versa.
Got it.
All right. I did it, everybody. I did it.
That was good. What do you think? Send your cards and letters in.
There?
Let's not talk about that. Let's get
there.
Yeah, 30 podcast. No, that's not true. About 40. Anyway, so yeah. Okay, let's see. All right. Turtle power, schmurtle power. I say turtle soup.
Turtle power, schmurtle power. I say turtle soup.
That's pretty good.
That's great.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm kind of scared.
Okay.
Which is good.
I couldn't help overhearing, and if you're looking for a place to get a full body massage, I know a wonderful place.
I couldn't help overhearing that you have an ability to give a full body massage, and that it's as sweet as honey. Now, is that true?
Didn't you say something kind of like that?
Very similar, but you elevated it.
Get that hedgehog!
How was that?
Dr. Robotnik. Ah, a Jew. A landsman. Robotnik? Sure, I came up with him. Get that hedgehog? If I only knew what a hedgehog was.
Oh, the stories I could tell. So many of them true.
Oh, the stories I could tell. And so many of them true. Let's go lick some ass. I really had to think of that one.
Okay. Can it be Taz?
Okay.
ass.
Breaking the news and breaking those bus sizes.
Breaking the news and breaking those bus passes.
We gotta think of something fast.
We gotta think of something fast. Let me tell y'all what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make me some turtle soup, yeah.
Simba.
Oh, Kira, let me tell you what I'm gonna did. I'm gonna make you some of that turtle soup, yeah?
Not yet, Snake. It's not over yet. Did you like my sunglasses?
Not yet, Snake. It's not over yet. Did you like my sunglasses?
Oh, and scene.
Oh my goodness, Heifer. We must stop this ceaseless sucking.
Oh my goodness, Heifer. We must stop this ceaseless sucking.
Oh, yes. Oh, yo quiero Taco Bell and honey.
Yo quiero Taco Bell. Pass the honey, please.
What is a logarithm?
I don't know what a loco rhythm is. Get that hedgehog!
It's got to be Crocker.
It's got to be.
Get that hedgehog!
Yes.
That's
yes.
perfect. That's perfect.
A strong man doesn't need to read the future. He makes his own.
A strong bear doesn't need to read the future. He steals his own. Makes his own.
Wait, can you do that line as Hondo as well? I feel like Hondo would literally say that.
A strong man does not need to read the future. He makes his own.
Nice.
The wonderful thing about tigers is tigers are wonderful things.
The wonderful thing about tigers is that tigers are wonderful things.
Well, that's true. He's got a point there. They are pretty wonderful.
Their bodies are made out of rubber, and their tails are made out of springs. They're bouncy, flouncy, jouncy, pouncy, fun. But the most wonderful thing about tigers is that I'm the only one. I'm the only one.
I was waiting for the tag, yeah. Yes.
Somebody picked this up off the floor. He sprung a leak.
Somebody picked this guy up off the floor. I think he sprung a leak. Carl, did you have an oopsie moment?
Probably. That was my bad, Rob.
You look fantastic. I will see you at Monster High, cool friend.
You look fantastic. I will see you at Mount Dracul, friend. Pass the honey.
The claw. Pick me.
How about bonkers?
The claw. Pick me.
Please, Lucky.
Well, you know, I may not be as young as I once was, but I'm older.
Well, you know, I may not be as young as I once was, but I am older.
In my book, experience outranks everything.
Popo doesn't have a book. All right, we'll see. We'll see what's it.
In my book, honey outranks everything.
Do the
Lemony fresh. Lemony fresh.
I always punctuate it with a
Legends of the Hidden Temple with your guide, Kirk Fogg.
Legends of the Hidden Temple with your host, Kurt Fogg.
Did I say the right word?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good.
Well, you know, I am the first Toon detective in the Hollywood Toon division.
Well, you know, I am the first true detective in the Hollywood Toon
division.
Thank you.
Yeah, I turned into you.
Now say you're despicable.
You're despicable.
Wow, I'm so jealous. I've never heard anyone say it without a lisp. That's how I sound like if I didn't have this fat tongue. Ooh, I thought I saw Putty Tad. I did see a Putty Tad.
Oh, I thought I saw a putty tat. I did see a putty tat. Yum.
Oh, brother, he's gonna eat me.
Oh, the stories I could tell. So many of them true.
Oh, the stories I could tell of things that I found up people's butts. So many of them are unfortunately true.
The stories I could tell. So many of them are true, Doc.
That's wonderful.
Most having home of the world's smallest large screen TV.
Most having home of the world's largest small screen TV, and it's very bouncy.
Yeah, that's close enough there, Tigger.
The wonderful thing about Tiggers is Tiggers are wonderful things.
The wonderful thing about Tiggers is Tiggers are wonderful things.
Yeah.
Yabba-dabba-doo.
Yabba dabba do. Do you have any honey?
I'm just wondering. Well, wait a second, Doc. Do you have any honey? That's fun.
Didn't your mother ever teach you not to mumble when you're speaking with somebody?
All right, I'm going to go the opposite way with this one. This is Bastille Lachard from Knights of the Old Republic. Didn't your mother ever teach you not to mumble when you're speaking to someone? Here you go.
Okay.
Hold your eardrums, because she's just so piercing. Here we go.
Oh, boy.
Daddy, I want to be a Powerpuff Girl, but they said I couldn't. They said I couldn't.
But Daddy, I want to be a Powerpuff Girl, but they said I couldn't. They said I couldn't, and I want to be a Powerpuff Girl.
That's actually perfect.
Go for the ice, boo. Go for the ice.
I'm actually going to do this as Cinderella.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, dear. Go for the ice, Boo. Go for the ice. But don't hurt him. All right. Oh, do you need help? Can I help you? Oh, dear.
I'll rip out the ice. Got you. No problem.
Rip out the eyes, got you, no problem. This is a scary kingdom we're in.
You sound so
Disney, you're
wholesome
gonna love
and
that
royal.
one.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, dear.
You sound very royal and princessy.
Pancake!
You got that?
Got it.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay, so
Yeah. Pancake.
That didn't sound like Taz. We're doing
With honey.
Adorable. It was adorable.
I had to do it.
You got to do it as Pooh too, though. See, now don't you want to
because
hug him?
I wanted to hear Pooh say that.
Pooh say-
It's okay here, but now, meanwhile, back at it more appropriate.
Pancake.
I don't care how you feel, girl. Get to work.
I don't care how you feel, girl. Get to bouncing. Gracias, Dora, por estar aquí hoy.
That was perfect. I'm sorry.
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
Swiper, no swiping. Swiper, no swiping. Swiper, no swiping.
Let's do it as three different. Let's do it as Tigger. Let's do it as Darkwing. Let's do it as Winnie. All three.
Swiper, no swiping. A swiper, no swiping.
Swiper, no swiping.
Well, you know something? The women love a man with a big back porch.
You know, a woman loves a man with a big back porch.
Yes. How can you make that sound sort of evil? It was kind of evil. I didn't want to go sit on the back porch now. I'm staying here.
I'm the president of the goddamn United States of America.
I'm the president of the goddamn United States of America. Get that hedgehog!
I love the kind of woman that can kick my ass.
I love the kind of woman that can kick my ass.
I love the kind of woman that can kickstart my etc. So be prepared.
Oh, the stories I could tell. So many of them true. Carabast.
How many cups of sugar does it take to get to the moon?
How many cups of sugar does it take to get to the moon? Ooh. How many cups of honey does it take to get to the moon?
How many cups of sugar does it take to get to the moon?
How many cups of coffee does it take to bounce to the moon?
Oh, my God.
Well, hi, everybody. It's me, Mickey Mouse. Say, you want to come inside my clubhouse? Well, all right.
Hi, everybody. It's not me, Mickey Mouse. And anybody want to come inside my clubhouse? And we'll make a big mess and then call the maid. Thank you. Stay dangerous.
The wonderful thing about Tiggers is Tiggers are wonderful things.
Do I do the spittle,
You
too?
got to do the spittle.
The wonderful thing about Tiggers is Tiggers are wonderful things.
Wow.
Well, gosh, some imagination, huh?
Well, gosh, it's some imagination, huh? Uh-huh.
That was just sad.
That was great, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Don't try this at home.
good.
Go ahead. Oh, man.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Wouldn't gliding be faster than bouncing?
It would, yes. Thank you for acknowledging that.
Probably.
Think Barbados. Wait a minute.
Think Barbados. Wait a minute. Think bonkers.
Man, you can't repo the assets of a dead man, big sitting chief asshole.
You are with it, and never of a dead man. You with it, asshole.
Oh, you corn-sarn Indian varmint!
No, you corn-sarn engine varmint. What kind of mint is a varmint?
And I say nice girl, but she reminds me of the highway between Fort Worth and Dallas. No curves.
Ooh. Now, who should do that?
Nice, I say nice. Nice girl, I say. But she reminds me of the highway between Fort Worth and Dallas. Straight with no curves.
Well, you know, the wonderful thing about Tiggers is Tiggers are wonderful things.
Wow, that's really amazing, Tigger. Now, do you think that Disney is okay with us being this close in proximity?
It's too late.
Roger Rabbit's come and gone, so we're safe.
The wonderful thing about Tigger is Tigger's a wonderful thing.
There we go.
Jam a squirrel in it, you crap.
Is this a kid's show?
Jam a squirrel in it, you crap.
Do you like my ears better up or down?
Do you like my ears better up or down? Oh, crap. I don't have ears.
See, I got crap in.
Seymour, the house is on fire. Seymour, do you want me to tell you when it's 7 o'clock?
Yes, I do.
Seymour and I had a huge fight last night over the inflatable bath pillow.
I can just imagine. Very controversial subject, right?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
For years they've been fighting. For at least 30 years they've been fighting over the inflatable bath pillow.
I am the terror that flaps in the night.
I am the terror that flaps in the night.
I am the terror that what flaps in the night.
I am the terror that flaps in the night.
It sounds pretty. I'm scared. Yeah.
Now, wait a second. You see, I thought I was the terror that flaps in the night.
No, you molt in the night.
I molt, yes, that's true, especially during the fall, but I thought I
am the terror that flaps in the night.
I am the terror that flaps in the night. In English, we say night. In Spanish, we say noche.
Can you say noche?
Noche? No.
Good job.
I'm the terror that squawks in the night. It wasn't squawk. I say, boy, was it squawk?
Close enough.
I'm Darkwing Duck.
I am the terror that flaps in the night. I am Darkwing Duck.
I am the terror that flaps in the night, and you're not.
I am the terror that flaps in the night, bub.
Hey, yo, man, I am the terror, the flax, you know what I'm saying, and the nights.
In the night.
And the night.
In the night.
And the night.
Yeah, that's right. I know what you're saying.
I am the old codger that trips on his own feet in the middle of the night. I'm already in my pajamas and I have my slippers on. Oh my, I'm not a terror. I don't even have a prostate anymore.
Oh, Jesus Christ. But who are you?
Professor Hubert Farnsworth. Darkwing Nut. Oh, no, he would never remember. He would just, like, blank out and go, I am the...
I'm the terror that... What is it?
Flaps in the night.
I'm the terror that flaps in the night, pal. I'm the wings that whatever it does.
That get your nightmares.
That make your nightmares. I'm your worst fucking pal, buddy. I can't think of the lines. What is it?
I am Darkwing.
Oh, yeah. I am Darkwing Duck. Motherfucker.
Good night, everybody.
Would you do me a favor, please, and pass the honey?
Would you do me a favor, please, and pass the honey?
I'm gonna need you to pass that honey.
Arthur, will you please pass the honey?
Would you please pass the honey for me?
I'd be delighted to do you a favor and pass the honey.
Hey, look, man, would you please do me a favor and pass the honey, dog?
Yeah. I love it. That's good. That's the honey dog.
Excuse me, Mr. Bunny. Could you please pass the honey?
Well, Doc, I got a variety. We got some carrot honey, and, well, that's all I got. You know, I got a rumble in my tumbly. Ain't I a stinker?
Yes, you are.
Sorry, Pooh. Could you please pass the carrot honey?
Well, I passed something, but it wasn't honey.
We passed the test. That's what it is.
Yeah, there
the
you go.
test of time.
Not a gallstone.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.